Music lovers and music haters, let's all gather here. This is business as usual, according to Loux. Oh brother, oh brother. A-Reece, A-Reece, A-Reece. Oh, first and foremost, hello slimes. Welcome to my channel. Please don't fight me. I don't have parents and whatnot. But A-Reece, A-Reece, A-Reece. Ooh, where do I start with A-Reece? With Reece, a lot of the criticism he's received over the past couple of years, or the past couple of albums really, because he's put out a lot of material in the last 2-3 years. But the criticism he gets a lot is that he's gone stale. He's monotonous. He's a one-trick pony. And, I feel two ways about it. Firstly, I hate one-trick ponies. But when that one trick is so good, can you really hate it that much? It's not like he's terrible at what he does. He's amazing at what he does. And I think on this album, he hit his stride in a way that I didn't expect, and in a way that just wasn't there in his previous efforts. The album opens up with the Sunday's intro. It's just a piano playing, really. You know what I mean? I imagine this is what white people thought Amapiano is when they first heard about it, only to click on a random song and hear Amabelipswen Bendota. But yeah, this is that. This is just a piano playing. It's very smooth, nothing too crazy. And I feel like this is the perfect intro, right? In the sense that he didn't feel the need to rap on it. It just gives you what you're gonna get later on. It sets the tone for the album. It doesn't go too crazy. It's very simple, very minimalistic. Everything we've come to expect from an A-Reece record, minus the rapping part of it. He does give us what we've been begging for in terms of the rapping on So Much, which features Quasi M, who gives us one of the most beautiful vocal performances on the album on this record. Her vocals are very smooth but still have a commanding presence. Reece's rapping on here kind of reminds me of Drake, not just lyrically but his delivery as well. He speaks about his journey to the top, him somehow feeling underrated and underappreciated. Despite all of the success that he has achieved in the industry, he still feels like he's one of those artists that are overlooked, which is kind of crazy to me considering everything that you know about A-Reece. He drops today, he does crazy numbers, but I still feel like, or at least he feels like, he's not one of the top stars in the game. And I don't know why he feels that way, because everyone knows who A-Reece is. He's known internationally, but I suppose his success doesn't seem like success to him. He has a different vision of where he wants to be, and I think that's what he's speaking about on this particular song. The beat is very minimalistic, just a simple melody over sparse drums. Again, matches the smooth vocals of Quasi M and his very laid back delivery on the song. The solo interlude is another record that's cut from the same cloth production-wise. Just piano riffs over a melody. Similar to the intro, he doesn't rap on this one either, rather saving his bars for the actual solo record, which follows, right? Saying bars is misleading because he doesn't really rap on this song either. He's not really rapping here, he's just singing, which I feel like was a perfect artistic choice. It's perfect for the beats that he chose here, which is very mellow and harmony-driven with drums and horns that provide the intended laid-back vibe, right? On here, he really speaks about enjoying his solitude, smoking by himself, in what seems a very ritualistic habit for him, where he just sits back, thinks about his life, stares into the ceiling, and, he repeats the same 6 bars or so throughout the track, while singing. It doesn't bore you, although you kind of feel like, oh man, is there a verse coming? Oh, no verse. But at the end of the song, you're like, okay, yeah, he made the right choice by not adding a rap verse to this. And again, hats off to him for having that foresight, because now that I think about it, I think a rap verse would have ruined it to a certain degree. So I think this really adds to the whole I'm just trying to chill, I'm not trying to do too much feel of the song itself, which, absolutely love. That's a very decent bag for him. It's something we know that he does well, because he's all about that piff. Losses is where he really starts to rap. sharp lyricism on here, but how he stays on top of the game without even trying. Again, carrying over from the previous joint, right, where he's just talking about how he's just killing everyone while in his flip-flop and gown phase, you know what I mean? But he also speaks about how he feels he's not as big as rappers that fill stadiums, which I reckon is a shot at Casper, you know, because he basically questioned A-Reece's credentials and his status in the game.
A-Reece has a very healthy career. It's niche though. It's very niche. It's good for him and his cult fans.
But then he says he's basically filling a different void, you know, because I think lyrically A-Reece is playing in the lane that most other rappers, especially in mainstream hip-hop, just don't play in. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't do the whole introspective rapping thing, and whenever they try to do it, it's really only here and there. Most of them is just club bangers. With A-Reece, it's really his signature, and he's playing in that lane, and a lot of people don't really swerve into that lane as far as mainstream hip-hop goes. The production, again, simple, moody, melody driven, very atmospheric. It starts off very slow, but then it hits a crescendo right before a guitar solo that I absolutely love and I really wish was a bit longer. Scented Candles / Well Done Dada is my favorite joint on the album. Well, the Scented Candles part of it, Well Done Dada didn't really move me nearly as much as Scented Candles, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's his flow or the production or both, but there's just something extremely off-putting about the song. Maybe I would have appreciated it more if it was a standalone record. You know, if anything, I think would have been better off paired with the Sweatshop freestyle. You know, with the former going first as some sort of calm before the storm, right? Because Sweatshop, he really raps heavy, he talks his shit. Again, a nice flow there, similar to what he does on Well Done Dada. Think Lick / Drive You Crazy by Tory Lanez, if you're trying to get what I'm trying to say about this particular record, or leave the record off the album entirely. I'm not feeling it too much, but I don't know if it's where it's placed, where the tone is so different from Scented Candles that it just throws me off a bit. But yeah, I think Scented Candles is definitely the better of the two records. Again, A-Reece is without question one of the most introspective rappers in mainstream hip-hop, in SA especially, and he proved it again on this record, where he speaks about the joys of fatherhood as well as the relationship with his mother and late father. The song is produced by Michael Tui, aka Michael Sent Me This Chop. Very Alchemist-esque, very jazzy with soft kicks and hi-hats. It sticks to the ambient feel of the previous songs on the album, right? I really wish it would have stuck to this particular sound. Not to say it's different from the rest of the album, not at all, but I think they work well together based on this song alone. And I really, if they were to do an EP, I would not mind that at all. An A-Reece and Michael Tui joint project would be beautiful. I think I'd definitely love to hear that. And maybe I'm saying that because the next song here really annoys me. I Don't Give a Fuck featuring K Kid and J Jody. It's I think it's the weakest song on the project, or at least one of the weakest songs on the project. It sounds like a throwaway record that would have been better off as an interlude with just Reece on it and not K Kid and J Jody. Those verses aren't bad, don't get me wrong, the verses aren't bad. I just feel like they don't add anything to the song and they make it longer than it really needs to be, right? I think what they're rapping about, I don't know, man. I don't feel the bars that much. Maybe on a different beats, maybe on a different song, I'll feel differently. But on this particular record, it just does. They do nothing for the song, and they just do the entire song a huge disservice. Reece alone on this would have been much better, much better. And I'm sighing because I was enjoying this project so much. So when I got to the last record here, I was like sad, you know what I mean? Because this is a very short project. It's just 9 songs long, you know what I mean? And I was enjoying the ride, only to be hit with the very anticlimactic filet mignon. I don't know. I don't know, Reece. I don't know. Why would you take me on this journey, right? You take me on this journey, this very mellow, very pensive drive, just to try to stick the landing with the song that couldn't be more different from the other 8 songs on this album if it tried. I really think if Reece did an outro that was similar to the intro, you know, again, just a simple piano playing, it would have been a lot better than this record. You know, even if actually he did that after this song, I wouldn't mind it so much. I think even though I don't like this song, it's placed where it needed to be placed. I think if it was somewhere in the middle, it would have made the album sound disjointed. I think it would have destroyed the harmony and the cohesiveness of the album up to that point. So I'm happy it is where it is, like the last joint. But I really think you should have picked a better intro, because this just ain't it. It's just ain't it. It's not really a bad song, but if you've taken us through this journey where you're extremely introspective, where you're talking about your life and your family, the last thing I want is to hear a commercial record, a dancey, bouncy commercial record being the last song on the album. I think this one, it's a miss in terms of where it's placed, you know, and as far as being the anchor to the album. Definitely a more simpler outro would have been much better choice than this. But yeah, other than that, look, man, I'm gonna say this is my favorite A-Reece project. I love short projects. I don't like albums that overstay their welcome, and this does not do that. It's a very simple project, not too over the top production wise, which again, A-Reece doesn't really do over the top production. It's not a complaint really about the album itself. It's just a concern as to how long can he keep this going for. Yes, it's better than the other projects he's put out as of late, but it's still the same thing. It's still the same stories. He's still drawing from the same place. Maybe things will be different now that he's a father. Maybe we'll see a different side of him as he grows older. But the last thing I want to see is a rapper this talented get stuck in a Taylor Swift phase where he's just constantly trying to appease his younger fans. You know, I think he mentions that he's 28 now. If he gets to 30 and he's still rapping about what he's rapping about now, a lot of people are going to tune off. People are not going to sit there and put up with it, because at some point there has to be some growth. As you grow as a human, we want to see that growth in your lyrics as well. We saw that with Keenan, rest in peace Keenan. Casper, not so much, but there's growth. There has to be some sort of growth, and you know what I mean. Hopefully, he looks at that when he makes his next album as to, I'm grown A-Reece now. I can't keep talking about my friends and weed. There has to be something else that I can speak about. Not saying become a conscious rapper. Don't get me wrong, but I still think there's another level. There's somewhere else you can dig for your next material. I don't think it helps him or his discography if he continues to put out Paradise over and over again. Putting out a better version of Paradise can only take us so far. But if I were to rate this album, I would give it a solid 7.5. I think it's a very solid 7.5. You can push it to 8 if you feel that way, but I think I'm comfortable with the 7.5. But you let me know how you feel about it. If you like it, let me know in the comment section. If you don't like it, go to Nasty C's page and complain over there, because you know that would be fun. I love that civil war. But yeah, this was business as usual according to Loux. Peace out.